Tata Motors forayed into the small hatchback segment with this, the Tiago. Now this is certainly a refreshing car in its lineup. What Tata managed to do is undercut all its rivals by pricing it just right, even the petrol and the diesel. But by that time, Maruti Suzuki had already dominated that segment with this, the Celerio. So what we did is bring the two diesels together to find out who won the bet.
Cars for people who want low running costs as a priority. The Celerio and Tiago certainly fit the bill. Maruti Suzuki has been selling an average of 6,000 units of the Celerio every month, and Tata Motors has just about broken the 4,000 units mark in June. So the Celerio has been more popular, but the Tiago is still relatively new. And as we've said before, offers features and space of a bigger hatch while operating in the Celerio's value range. Make them stand side by side and you'll see how young the Tiago looks. The Celerio is quite bland and neutral, and the Tiago wins on design appeal. And that's true inside too. The cabin on the Tiago is well laid out, and though it's not as wide as the Celerio, it still comes across as quite spacious. The thing that comes across is the much improved material quality to the interior fit at Tata. There's lots of storage space too, but the Celerio matches the Tiago here. The Celerio gets a dual-tone theme, which adds a bit of color to the cabin. But when you compare the quality of the material used, yet again the Tiago triumphs. The front seats on the Celerio are comfortable and the legroom at the rear impresses. The lack of leg and headroom at the rear is a sticking point on the Tiago. In fact, the lack of thigh support on all seats will make travelling long distances a little painful. What is also painful is the sound of the Celerio's engine. Rev it above 3000 RPM and the sound becomes shrill, which is obviously not great. On the diesel Celerio, the two-cylinder turbo diesel engine makes just 47 brake horsepower. However, there's a respectable 125 Nm of torque on offer. The Tiago gets a bigger 1047cc three-cylinder engine, which is good enough for 69 brake horsepower and 140 Nm of torque, so it has got the upper hand on output. But the Celerio is lighter by nearly 180 kilograms, and this means it's a bit more agile. The Tiago has more pulling power than the Celerio, which helps it sprint. But we wish it had more power in the mid-range, as you're left helpless post 3000 RPM. What we also noticed was the clutch, brake and accelerator pedals were a bit closer to each other than on the Celerio, which is why you have to be careful and get the footwork right. The ride on the Celerio is firmer, and so there's a bit of kickback when you go through a pothole. The Tiago, however, takes in its stride and makes for a good driving experience on the whole. Both cars get tons of features, and the list includes power windows, steering mounted audio controls, height adjustable driver's seats, tilt adjust for the steering wheel, audio system with USB, Bluetooth and auxiliary input. Now all these features are available on the top-end variant, but the Tiago makes things further by adding rear parking sensors and a cool glove box. The Tiago gets a better sounding audio system, as it includes 4 speakers and 4 tweeters, which give you an all-round aural experience. Hook up the infotainment to your smartphone and the Tiago system will relay sat-nav instructions, which is quite a good and rare feature in this segment. On the safety front, the top-of-the-line variants of both cars offer dual airbags and ABS. None offer anything on the base though, sadly. In the battle of fuel economy though, the diesel Celerio wins hands down, as it holds the record of an ARAI test economy figure of 27.62 km per litre. The Tiago is a very close second with 27.28 km per litre to its name. The Celerio starts at 4,84,000 rupees and goes all the way up to 5,90,000 rupees. This is where Tata brings in more to the table, as it undercuts the Celerio. The Tiago costs 3,84,000 rupees and go all the way up to rupees 5,54,000. And so if it wasn't obvious already, Tata has certainly managed to set a new benchmark in this segment with the Tiago, and it's certainly the deserving winner in this contest.